Hi, I'm Deborah Bly with the Bly team, and I have with me as guests here today, Andrew with Avree Pools. And if you're here in the Houston area, I think for us, pools is definitely a really big deal. Like that's a whole lifestyle thing here in Houston, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's like an extension of your house, really, that whole backyard.
It's a vacation.
It's a staycation.
Yep. Pools absolutely add value to the home. From what we see, when we come into a backyard and design it for the clients, it's a big investment for them. So for them to take that investment, they know they want to get some return on it, and what does that look like? And we try to help them out. And of course, we rely on you a lot to help us when clients have those questions as well.
Yeah. So as far as one of the most important questions are, why are you putting in a pool? If you're putting in a pool, it's not necessarily so that you can add value to the home. I want to cautiously say it could, and it should. But that being said, there's not all pools are created equal, just like all homes aren't created equal.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a new client that's coming in, and I'm sure out-of-town clients are different than in-town clients, but do they specifically ask you a lot about pools, and is that what they're in there searching for when they're looking for a home?
Yeah, good question. So quite frequently when we have a client and they want a pool, that's what we have the search narrowed down into, right, is homes with a pool, and that's the only thing they're going to get. And because they're somewhat limited in the market compared to homes that don't have a pool, they're not always finding the homes that have a pool, right? So that being said, some of them will open up to homes without a pool just because there is less availability, right? So I would say historically homes with a pool, first of all, they shoot really great because we can get, that picture of like that whole backyard extended living area, right? So they shoot really great. So they certainly look better online, and definitely they add value because there's not as much competition as being on the market amongst all the other homes that don't have a pool. And in addition to that, it has that value of that extended living area. And there's definitely a benefit to buying a home with a pool as to without, because number one, you don't have that upfront cost. And then number two, you don't have that whole build time of
getting
that build time and that mess time of putting in a pool. So let's say we had somebody looking at a home that didn't have a pool.
I really want to learn, what do they do? How are they going to entertain? Do they have a family? Because we always want to bring form and functionality together. A design that's timeless, but as well as, making sure the pool will work for their gatherings, things like that. Once I'll meet the client on site, we do a lot of fact finding. We'll walk the property, talk design, talk cost, all those fun things. And then we put a design together for them. A lot of time that design process is about a week, depending on the clients and changes. And then from there, I bring them in, and we're actually sit down and go over the design, make changes, and we actually will price the pool out right then and there with them. So tell me, when you're showing a home and walking it with clients, when they walk in the backyard, what are some features that when they see that pool that they're automatically drawn to, that they love?
It's so funny. So when you have that home that has like the windows all across the back, and you open up the front door, and the first thing you see is like that extended backyard living space. So, that's impression number one.
Okay.
Right? So, because they're automatically feeling like that outdoor is coming into indoor.
Yes,
right?
Combined spaces.
Combined spaces, yeah. And then after that, we go out and we look at the pool, and I will say, sometimes a pool is not exciting. It could be an older pool that's somewhat dated, or it's just a backyard with a pool plopped in the middle of it. So there's no extended living area where it has like the add-on kitchens or patio or porch areas, and it doesn't have landscaping. So the pool by itself doesn't bring as much value as when you have like that whole picture put together, right? As far as features in the pool, the older pools, some of them don't have the features that you would probably put in a pool now, right? Like the LED lighting, the whole smart app on your phone thing, and like the like we're all so gadgety right now, right?
Yes.
So we like those gadgets.
That's the first thing that the husbands do is they start playing on the phone. They're changing lights. They're doing this. They're doing that. Yeah, it's pretty funny to watch.
So I'm curious from a perspective of where you're at when you're sitting down with a client. What seem to be the features that your clients, when you're sitting down with them and they're going over all their options, what seem to be the ones that are their hot buttons?
So the first things that the clients will say to me is we want an oasis. We want our backyard oasis. And a lot of them don't know what that actually looks like.
Yeah.
They say, we're visual people. Build this for us.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they immediately think fire because resorts have fire. I tell all my clients fire is nice, it's awesome, but then the ones with little kids, it can become a safety thing too. So the big thing now that we're seeing is undermount coping lighting, where we actually put LED lights all the way around the pool.
Very
outside
cool.
of the
Very
water.
cool.
Yes, very modern, very cool. It's also pretty relatively inexpensive compared to most things that you would think went on a pool. But it gives them that look. They're able to control it from their phones as well. Doesn't pose a safety hazard.
That keeps the husbands happy.
Yep. And it's more things they can play with and have fun with. And then it gives it a different look than what any other pool would be.
Yeah.
Because there's only really 2 pool builders that do it in the Houston area.
Wow.
And yeah, we're one of them.
So why do you think that is? Because honestly, if I was building a pool and you're telling me about that, I already want it. So.
I think it's for most people, it's creating something different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do say, I don't want just a cookie cutter pool. I want something exciting and new and different. So like for us at Avree, our designers, we usually won't do just like a rectangle pool. We really try to follow the curves of the house and cutouts and benches and things like that, to not give it a plain Jane style, but some character. That way no 2 pools look alike. That's another thing. People don't want pools that, hey, I don't want what my neighbor has. I want something different.
Although I'll tell you what, those rectangle pools, when we walk into a backyard, they certainly stand out as being more modern, etc., than, your traditional kidney pool from 30 years ago, right?
Yes, I steer clients away from the kidney shapes. And yeah, what we do is we'll still do a super modern geometric pool, but we actually will create nooks and crannies in it that follow the shape of the home. That way it really stands out as something different.
Okay, I like that. And then so start to finish, let's just say you meet with the client. You start with, of course, you're going to go over what they're looking for. You're going to go through the whole design process. So once you've gotten through that part, we're ready to go ahead and pull the plug.
Yep.
What does that look like as far as time frame?
Every municipality is a little different. Every HOA is a little different.
You have to get your permits and HOA approval.
So we handle all permitting and HOAs in-house. We call it a 30 to 60-day process. That's usually about what it takes. The average build time would be about 45 days after a contract is signed. That's allowing for all that to get pushed through.
So what you're saying is we've agreed to a design, the permitting process, the HOA approval, and the build time, et cetera, within 45 days-ish?
We'll start the build in 45 days.
You'll start the building in 45 days.
And then it's usually a 30 to 60 day, about another 65 days of build time for a pool spa combo. Of course, patios, kitchens, things like that. A lot of it's done in conjunction. But we do set the expectation of what that timing looks like as well.
Yeah, so we want a pool. What I'm hearing from this is, great, in 4 to 6 months from now, you could have a pool.
Yes, because too, you have time to put your yard back together, sod, landscaping, things like that, because not every client uses us for landscaping. So we tell everybody, figure about 6 months until you're completely no longer done, you're done.
So what I hear from that is, if you want a pool this summer to enjoy, you better call them now, because that is...
rain, weather, snow.
And when do people call you because they want a pool? It's probably as the summer's approaching, right? And then they'll have one ready for the winter.
For a birthday, I've had people call me and say, will my pool be ready for my son's birthday party in a month? And it's, no, we're not even quite there yet. But no, we really try to set that expectation early. And then, of course, we move as fast as quality will allow us to move.
Yeah. So I'm curious from y'all's perspective, what would you say some of your more difficult hurdles or challenges are?
In the pool building world, weather. I don't know if you remember a couple Julys ago, we had like 28 straight days of rain.
Yep.
So weather, it's not a one day delay. It could, for time to dry out, things like that. So hurricane and snow. Other than that, I don't think there's anything in the pool world that we can't overcome with a solution of some sort. It's really just setting expectations, keeping communication open, and making the build as smooth as possible for the clients.
Okay. I will say that I've referred a client to in the past that other pool companies, for whatever reason, they had some extenuating circumstances with like sloping yard or whatever, and other pool companies were not able to facilitate getting a pool in the backyard, and you guys were. So
yes, luckily, some of the more complex designs, we have the owner of Avree, as well as our construction manager, have been building commercial pools for a long time. Mm-hmm. Commercial pools require some extra engineering. They require a little different perspective than somebody who just started a pool company.
Yeah.
So they're able to overcome them challenges to where we have a full commercial division now as well.
Cool.
So, tell me, on your end, mm-hmm. Do you really see pools increasing home values, make it more marketable? What's your opinion when talking pools?
That's a good question. So myself personally, there's really two values that a pool brings. One is, of course, it does bring value to your home price, mm-hmm. right? So how much that value is going to really depend from neighborhood to neighborhood. So if you're in a, if you're in a more conservative, economically limited neighborhood, like there's just so much value you can add in there, right?
Yeah.
And be able to get that money back. Mm-hmm. If you're in another neighborhood that has a room to bump up that value, I see actually much greater return come from that. But I think you also have to sit down there and take a look and recognize there's actually two values a pool is bringing to you. One is it's bringing value to your home, but the other one is that lifestyle value that it's bringing you while you're enjoying that pool in your backyard, right?
Yeah. If you build a pool, you live in it for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're going to get the money, for the most part, back out of it, and you're going to enjoy all that time with the family.
Yeah.
So.
And for the most part, when I have a client and I know they want to put in a pool because we've had that discussion, I tell them the sooner you do it, the better. Because your pool prices don't get cheaper each year.
Very rarely.
And you might as well enjoy that pool for as long as you possibly can while you're living in that home, right?
Yes, absolutely. And if the general maintenance is kept up and you just don't let it go, usually that pool looks beautiful 10, 12 years after the fact.
So let's talk about, there's probably a considerable difference between a house that was built, a pool that was built 20 years ago versus a pool that was going to be built today. What are some of those differences?
And that can vary builder to builder as well. One thing, a lot of times warranties are not transferable, or they're out of warranty from the builder itself. So equipment issues, things like that, there's a lifespan on all the pumps, the filters, everything like that. Build wise, Texas is the Wild West of pool construction. There is no licensing, there's no regulations. So what people were doing 10 years ago, it's just like anything else. What were cars 10 years ago? The technology wasn't there. There were different build processes, regulation, there's just nothing there. So now the cities have gotten better with how they actually do their inspections, things like that. Bonding, electricity and water are very, kind of keep them separate. But also too, the new LED lights are much more energy efficient. The motors are much more energy efficient. The usability as far as the apps are a lot easier to use. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing more people that are moving here, leveling up, wanting pools with homes? Is that something you're really trending towards?
Than I have historically seen in the past?
Yes.
Yeah, I think honestly post-pandemic, I see it a lot more than I've seen in the past. I think people have come to see their home more as that home escape, that kind of staycation area, mm-hmm. so to speak. I think we're seeing more of that than what we saw historically in the past. And it's like, post that post-pandemic period, we are seeing like people are just seeing a lot more value in that whole home life experience.
Seemed like a hard reset, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just change of the tides. And then I know for me, we have people moving in from out of town that are used to having pools, so they want one again.
I think for us it's different too, right? Because here in Houston, you build a pool, and my gosh, you're going to be able to use that pool 9-10 months out of the year, as opposed to if you're moving here from up north. I mean, what kind of use do you get out of that pool?
I get a
5 months.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about how do we close our pools here in Texas and this and that. I'm like, close your pools. The pools are open
Year round.
Yeah, you got the heater, you got the spa.
It looks like we're going to be swimming in the pool this Christmas, as a matter of
That's
fact,
right.
with the temperature in the 80s.
Yeah, when we had that snowfall last year or early this year, I mean, I had customers that were video chatting me, sipping a whiskey and sitting in the spa at 10 in the morning with the snow coming down on them.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, people get a kick out of it, especially snowfall in Texas.
So I wanted to ask, and we're going to wrap up here in just a minute. What would you say? So you meet a client. I want to know, what are some of the things that they should avoid when they're looking at a pool? I also want to look at, so there are going to be pain points. What are those pain points?
Yes. So things to avoid would be, I've had clients want to put their initials in the bottom of the pool with tile, their favorite sports teams. So I'm sure you could imagine if you showed
Go Texans.
Yeah, if you showed a Texans fan a Cowboys pool, they're automatically out. So I get a lot of that, and I try to talk them out of it and why and this and that.
Yeah.
And then as far as some pain points, every single one of my clients usually follows the same pattern of pain point. We set expectations early and what the build looks like and things like that. But it's very common to get impatient.
Yeah.
They want to be done. And we know it. We get it, right? Yeah. So it's walking them through, hey, it's painting the picture of what the build looks like from the beginning.
Setting the expectation.
Yep. And then that way, when it is, when we're 45 days in and we're getting close to the finish line, it's getting them to remember that, hey, we're right there. We're almost done. It happens quicker than you think. Bear with us for another week or two. So.
Awesome. I just kind of want to finish out, because one of the big questions clients always have is, again, we spoke about value. Mm-hmm. And I just want to kind of put this picture in everybody's mind. You go out car shopping, and you're shopping those car lots, and you're finding that great, amazing car that you just have to have. And you drive that car, you find it, and you drive that car off the lot. That car has immediately lost value. The difference with the pool is the whole family's going to enjoy it for years to come. And the chances are that pool is going to not just retain the value, but it's actually going to increase in value over time. So really kind of same expenditure as far as cash for a really nice pool, as opposed to a car. And I just feel like you get way more value, way more family experience out of that pool, in addition to being, not having that value diminish the minute you drive off the lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my clients are pleasantly surprised when they, when they actually get their financing, when they go through that process with the bank, to learn that their pool is not going to cost them much more than this car that's going to be worthless in 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So when the clients actually contact the banks and find out the hard numbers of what a pool loan is, because it is called a home improvement loan. It is called a home improvement loan. The banks look at it as an improvement to the property. They're willing to loan on it even without equity. No. So most clients are usually pleasantly surprised once that point actually comes up. Andrew, I appreciate you coming and sharing this information. Yeah, thank you. And a great source for it to come from, for sure, because I know you guys really, every client I've referred to you has been absolutely delighted. So yes. That's the only experience I know with you guys is, clients are just really happy. We do work on referrals. It's a relationship business. So clients for me, we get invited to their birthday parties. I just went to a concert with some clients of mine. So it's really, it becomes a friendship in the end, and a long-term relationship, because it is a big investment and we don't take it lightly. Yeah. So Andrew, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you sharing with everybody some of the questions that maybe you guys have. And if there's any other questions that you have,
We're going to wrap this up with, down below at the bottom of this, you'll see a link where you can put in your contact information, and you can reach out with any questions, or if you want to find out how to reach you, we'll certainly make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned if they were to click on the link below.
Yeah, so, we value your partnership so much. Obviously, we've done a lot of business together, and you've really helped us. So we would love to offer any of your clients or friends, anybody that has a relationship with you, a 10% off by mentioning this podcast, this video, for the whole build. So,
well, I really appreciate that, because, as a real estate agent, it's not just about selling houses. It's about making good connections for my clients. And anytime I can save them money, I really appreciate you guys offering that.
Yeah.
For me.
Absolutely. Anything
on my behalf, on our behalf.
Do. Yeah. It's a relationship. It's a relationship business, and we value it. So whatever we can do to help out your clients, our clients, anybody, we're going to try to do it.
No, sure appreciate it. So like I said, if you're interested, fill out that form below, and I will make sure it gets to the proper place.
Thank y'all.
Bye-bye.